Right, hello my darlings. This is Penelope take two for the cover plate. I'm really not happy with this one, and I've decided to do a second go. This will not go to waste. I'm going to try to take it apart, or I'm going to cut it up and Frankenstein it to see where else in Penelope I could perhaps use snippets of it. So, because it's got the fabric on the back. So I've decided to do a take two for the plate, and look at her, isn't she beautiful? So very textural, lots of lace behind, and this gorgeous portrait in a wooden frame. So stick around, and we'll see how she came to be. Right, my darlings, this is take two for the cover plate. So I've printed out two more. I found that in my stash, like a laser cut wood frame. It's very, very thin, and I did manage to snap it when I was inking it, but I just about got it glued back together. So it's in one piece. Let's put that over here or to the side for a moment. Now I've decided on her from the kit. I think she's in the original journal kit as one of the pages. So I've blown her up a bit, and I think she'll look fabulous inside a frame. So put her and the frame to the side a minute. And all I've done is I've taken a piece of printer paper and I've drawn the outline of this onto it with blue ink underneath. And I've also done a cutout just so that I can gauge, and I've gotten a bunch of lace and things out. So this is just net curtains that I've got laid down a minute. I had some of this more antique lace, and I figure I'm just going to layer and play for a few minutes and see, and just keep testing it. Get some odd angles here going on. I did have that piece of like embroidered netting. I might get another piece of that out actually. But I've also got this more delicate, but this is stretchy stuff, so I gotta watch putting that through the sewing machine. I don't know if I want the more tea-stained ones on the cover. Or if I do, I just want small little bits of it sticking out, perhaps on the sides of the frame. There's another bit there. I don't really want the edges, every bit of it anyway. So no, I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm just going to have a second little play and see if I can salvage anything for a cover for this darling. And the way I'm layering it up, I know I'm going to have it bigger than the journal, but that means that I can trim it down. It's quite an old piece as well. Get it hodgepodge on there. But you will see some of those back layers once it's all assembled and I start trimming down what's actually sticking out, if that makes sense. I have done one similar to this before, so I'm crossing my fingers and holding out hope. So I can't see my blue outline anymore, but that's roughly and then once that's stitched down, once that's intact, then trim those around. Or do I need something else on those two sides and the top? Have a look. What have I got? I have a mess everywhere. Honestly, there's just stuff everywhere. And maybe I wonder if I can get a little piece of that trimmed off. Because I've been hoarding this stuff for ages. I haven't actually used it in anything. It's such a wide band. And it's very delicate, so let's cut some of these pieces off. Perhaps have one poking up there and poking out the bottom. And that's a bit better. Yes, I'll just go for it. Again, I think, like I'm going to say in the intro, this isn't going to waste. I'm going to cut this up. I'm going to salvage some bits off of it. I'm going to cut it up and use it for something else. I'm not sure what. But again, with this, it's not going to waste. I've got plenty of lace and trim, and I can't treasure hunt for more until I use up what I have. That maybe can come over just a little bit. Yes, that's better. So it needs to come over just a bit. So I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and have a go getting through it. So watch this space. Right, so I've gotten some messy stitching into the center of that, so I've got a nice little bundle now of floppy lace. It can be sized up or trimmed up. So I've cut her out as well, but I haven't attached it to the frame yet. So she's gonna sort of sit like that. I have that slightly that way. Yes. Yes, I think she's going to live like that. Now, do I want to put some gold on that frame? I'm better off doing it now than trying to do it later, because it will go everywhere. Yes, go for it. I think I've got one of those left in the drawer, so yeah, let's go for it. So I've inked her edges, and I had to sort of repair the top because it wasn't quite tall enough. So let's pop that out of the way a minute and go for it. Baby wipe out first, because this will be all over my fingers. And push it through a stencil, or no, just to go for it. Not a great amount, but just little highlights here and there. I don't know if the camera is even picking this up. This stuff is so weird to work with. It's not smelly or anything. I was in Craft Club doing a little bit of work on Penelope on Saturday, and some of the ladies were saying how some of the gilding polishes and waxes, some of them smell really good, and some of them are just, some of them are quite stinky. I just found that funny, because I've heard other YouTubers come across, what was that, like Seven Plaza says about the rub-ons. She loves the smell of the rub-ons. Doesn't bother me much. But no, it's this whole concept of Penelope just screams gold to me. And I don't tend to work in a lot of gold. So there's a subtle effect there. Not sure how well that's showing up on camera. I'm going to put a little bit more inside. But I sort of wanted that soft grunge, as if to say, you know, this is a journal of a collection of correspondence that this lady has coveted and embellished and flipped through over and over again, that sort of feel to it. Bits and bobs here and there. It's just loose on my fingers. Maybe a little blob in there. I still want it to look like it's wood. Now, if I thought beforehand, I wonder if I could get like texture paste through a stencil on these thin balsam frames. It's an idea for next time. So there we go. I am still working on Penelope, still working on the Great Ugly Idea book, following Rach and Bella's 100 Days of Junk Journaling ideas, and trying to keep up with those, all by working full-time. No easy feat, but hey ho, it's a bit of fun. Right, so that's that. She's going onto there, and that needs to dry. There's the front of Penelope there. So as you can see, that lace is far too big. But I think once it's attached and I can give it a creative snip around with my scissors, I think it'll look lush. Plus, she's going to have a dangle off the spine as well. So right, I'm going to go and dry this, attach these, and I'll jump back on. Right, and I'm back, my darlings. I am so much more happy with this than I was with that. That needs to get Frankenstein into something else, but I am so much more happy with that one. So I haven't used any of the special glue, just art I've used. And as you can see, that's all I had to trim away to make it fit. Not much at all, but that isn't going in the bin. That's going into my squirrel jar to go back over for later. And no, I'm really, really pleased with how that's turned out. So pleased, in fact, I think I am going to just stick it down. Should I? Yes. Go for it. So, again, you've got all these multiple layers. I don't care about that being loose on the cover because it's quite textural. I just need to make sure that I'm scented. Yes. Stick it down. Stick it down now. So again, I'm just using art for this. Actually, let's get this leftover art bottle out. This was my really, really old one. Is there anything left in there? Yes, just go for it. Oh. Almost gone. This bottle is like, I think I bought this bottle like 3 or 4 years ago. It's been topped up and topped up and topped up. And this is its dying breath. I mean, look at the state of it. That's it. I don't think there's any more in there. Let's give it a squeeze. And the original RT is now going in the bin. There we go. And the new RT is going strong. I never knew art glitter expired. That's tucked in. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm trying to hold all the floppy bits in before I go for it. Am I in? Yes. Oh, I'm so pleased I've got a plate on this now. Where's that come from? There we go. Now, let's get the signatures out. And I'm running out of room in here. Honestly, mid-project, especially when it comes to the end of a project for a junk journal, and the room is just complete chaos. Absolute, utter. It's like a tornado has ripped through the room, honestly. But no, I've enjoyed working with a lighter color palette for a change, even though I've gotten a bit frustrated at times, but it's been interesting. So right, she's going away somewhere flat to dry overnight, and I will be back soon with how the inside is getting on. I've sat in Craft Club on Saturday and did a few of the cards in there. So, on to the insides next. And thank you ever so much for watching. And take care, my darlings, and see you soon.